기자부대, hop on the beat!
In JoJolion, the rock humans make up the main antagonistic force in the story. Nearly every villain in the story was shown to be one, including the main villain, Toru. The origin of the rock humans is often obscured, and learning exactly what they're supposed to be was one of the main mysteries in JoJolion. In this video, I'll be going over everything we've learned about the rock humans throughout the course of JoJolion's story. First, the unique biology and abilities of the rock humans, then their hierarchies and place in society, and finally their origins and connections to other supernatural phenomena in the world of JoJo. Rock humans are a race of humanoid silicon-based organisms, as opposed to the carbon-based life forms that make up most of the life on Earth. They are just a subset of the abundance of rock organisms seen throughout JoJolion. However, the rock humans themselves possess higher intelligence and often use the rock animals for their benefit. Rock humans take on a parasitic role in society, often stealing the identities of humans and living seemingly normal lives. The first rock human that is encountered in JoJolion is Yotsuyu Yagiyama, the architect of the Higashikata Mansion, and a member of the Rokakaka smuggling ring, also known as the Damokon Group. The encounter with Yotsuyu gives us the first look at the abnormal abilities that rock humans possess. In his first appearance, he's able to create what looks like a sheet of plastic from his eyes and mouth. Later we see how he's able to turn to stone, the origin of the rock human name. In the first large description of rock human biology from chapter 46, it is said that when rock humans turn to stone, they create a silicon membrane over themselves through a process of cell hardening. This membrane will even cover their clothing or objects that they carry. The material that Yotsuyu was shown to produce is likely a similar kind of silicon construct. Later, the rock animal Do-Do-Do-Da-Da-Da was shown to be able to create the silicate mineral asbestos for its attacks. We also see an ability to merge into the face of a rock and appear elsewhere, something also demonstrated by the rock animal Iwasuke. Rock humans are known to enter a hibernation period that lasts from 30 to 90 days. In between these, they stay awake for no less than 2 months, although it is not known how long they'll last without having to hibernate. According to Aisho, it takes great concentration to keep from reverting to rock form when it's time to hibernate. While in their rock form, they are resistant to harsh conditions, but they still prefer to find safe places to hibernate. Places they tend to avoid are ones prone to landslides or other occurrences that could trap them underground or underwater. This is because they still require oxygen while in their rock form, and will slowly suffocate if submerged or buried. They also avoid sleeping in places where they'll come in contact with Anacardiaceae tree sap. These trees are best known as part of the cashew family, which can be toxic, so it's possible that some toxins can still penetrate the rock membrane and affect them. One of the things that was given a bit of focus in JoJolion was oddly enough the rock human diet. This was likely done to put special attention on the Rokakaka fruit that plays an integral role in JoJolion's story. We learn in chapter 46 that rock humans eat a large variety of food, and that in particular they enjoy honey. They also seem to have a shared allergy to mangoes. The most well-known food item of a rock human, however, is definitely the Rokakaka. According to Urban Gorilla, rock humans have been cultivating the Rokakaka for a long time. The fruit causes one who eats it to undergo a process of equivalent exchange. And we've learned that silicon-based life is more compatible with this process than humans are. For example, the rock animal Iwasuke was shown to be injured, but after eating the fruit, he was healed. When a human does the same thing, there is always another part of their body sacrificed to cure the injury. The life cycle of a rock human is very different to that of a human. After a 6-month pregnancy, a rock human mother will abandon the newborn at the base of a dead tree. The newborn has an average height of 28 millimeters and a weight of 15 grams. Insects will be attracted to the newborn at the base of the tree, namely hornets. Hornets will try to attack the newborn, but they will instinctively grab onto them and be taken back to their hive. The rock human then locates the queen and hibernates inside of it until the age of 17, when it grows dramatically in size and kills the colony. In chapter 46, we see that rock humans transform through molting every 6 years. However, the dramatic change in size is not represented on this diagram. It's likely that the rock human does molt into a couple of small stages inside the nest until molting once again into its final size. The estimated lifespan of a rock human is 240 years, meaning they will go through approximately 40 stages of growth throughout their life. When a rock human dies, they leave no corpse behind, and instead crumble apart into rocks. Rock humans naturally take on a subdued role in the ecosystem. They attempt to blend into human society, mostly by assuming the identity of someone else. This is a trait that can also be seen in their rock animal counterparts, with some disguising themselves as hair clips or guardrails on a street. They'll also take on jobs, but only ones that fit with their hibernation cycle. Most rock humans operate for their own interests and have no emotional connections towards anyone else. There are exceptions to this, however, as seen with Aisho, who was in love with a human woman, and had some friendship with and concern for Yotsuyu. The rock human Dolomite was also shown to be in a seemingly happy relationship. However, according to chapter 46, 97.5% of romantic relationships between humans and rock humans end in breakups, often resulting in murder. Rock humans are also known to have a special reverence towards the power of the earth. They are known to take refuge in places known as blessings from the earth. These are phenomena seen throughout parts 7 and 8 of JoJo, such as the Devil's Palm and the Walleyes. Due to the frequent contact between rock humans and these locations, 95% of rock humans possess a stand ability of some kind. This idea of respect for the earth was first mentioned by Dr. Ferdinand in Steel Ball Run. Ferdinand was a paleontologist who also had a fascination with the saint's corpse and the devil's palms. It's also a possibility that Ferdinand himself was a rock human, although since we didn't see his death up close, we don't know for sure. Regardless, the things he says may have great significance when it comes to understanding the rock human's role in the world. Through his profession of studying the dinosaurs, he ironically became repulsed by them for what he described as a disrespect for the earth. According to him, this disrespect was the reason that the dinosaurs died out, and that mammals took over the earth. Likewise, rock humans may view their respect for the earth as their path to overcoming humanity. In the story of JoJolion, the antagonists are mainly made up of the members of the Rokakako organization. First, the Damokan group led by Tamaki Damo, who smuggle Rokakaka fruit into Japan and sell it on the black market. And second, the Rokakaka research team, led by Toru and his alter ego Satoru Akefu, who have infiltrated the staff of the TG University Hospital in order to study and test the fruit. According to Urban Gorilla, the goal of the group is to use the cultivation of the Rokakaka to create a market for immortality, and cause rock humans to rise above humanity's status as the dominant species. Toru mentions that even the richest humans on Earth would be desperate to get the fruit, and that kind of power difference would give rock humans a much more dominant place in society. Based on what we saw Tomoki Wu do to Mitsuba, it's likely that the fruit was going to be used to turn humans into a kind of serf class dependent on rock humans for more and more equivalent exchanges. The origin of the rock humans is first alluded to in chapter 99. When life first came about 4 billion years ago, two paths of life emerged. These were the carbon-based organisms and the silicon-based ones. Whatever it is that first created life decided that there should be a backup plan in case carbon-based life failed. We don't know anything yet about this creator or if we'll ever know, but it may be connected to the idea of respect for the Earth. The phenomena that are called blessings from the Earth often act to protect whatever is inside. Rock humans often choose these as their special places to live and hibernate. The Walleyes pointed out to the sea as if to protect from something, and when the 2011 earthquake happened, the Higashikata estate inside the Walleyes was protected. Likewise, the Mutsukabe Shrine is known as the safe place of the rock human Dolomite. This place was also undisturbed by the earthquake. Notably, the Higashikata estate is also home to a shrine, the one placed under the Morio Pine after the sacrifice made by Johnny Joestar using the saint's corpse. In chapter 46, one of the locations listed as rock humans' choices for hibernation is also nearby shrines. The rock human's goal to overcome humanity was ultimately thwarted by the existence of the protagonist, Josuke. In a previous video, I've discussed this idea in depth and how it relates to JoJolion's title. If you want a closer look at this idea, you can see me talk about it there. Josuke was created by the fusion between Yoshikage Kira and Josefumi Kujo. with the power of the Walleyes and the new Rokakaka. This event is referred to repeatedly as a miraculous occurrence that could not be repeated. The title of the part itself refers to the holy nature of Josuke's creation. Josuke is also called a person who came from the earth, meaning the earth itself allowed Josuke's creation through a kind of divine intervention. As you may know, actions in JoJo are controlled by the system of fate, which acts as a form of gravity moving everything along its predestined path. In JoJolion, this fate is referred to as flow. The endings of parts 5 and 6 point out that fate favors the side of justice. Similarly, JoJolion refers to the concept of the right path, the path you need to walk to be favored by the flow. The antithesis of this is known as calamity, an extreme negative flow that is manipulated by the main villain Toru and his stand, Wonder of You. The divine nature of Josuke's creation is first hinted at by Tamaki Damo at the beginning of the Josefumi and Kira flashback. It is said that the migration of flying fish in the South Sea of Japan caused an accident on the boat where Yoshikage Kira was serving. This accident resulted in Kira's discovery of the rock humans and the Rokakaka. Shortly before this, Kira's mother Holly had been experimented on by the Rokakaka research team. All of these events eventually led to Kira's fusion with Josefumi. So if it weren't for this series of coincidental events, Josuke would have never been created. The flow in JoJolion is often referred to in terms similar to that of feng shui, where the orientation of objects leads to good and bad fortune. This is also integral to the idea of yin and yang, two opposite but complementary forces of light and dark that remain in balance. I've previously referred to fate in JoJo as a kind of self-correcting force. When someone like Diavolo tampers with fate, it eventually comes back to punish him. Flow is the same way, but this specific part of it is given more focus. In this case, the yin and yang would be the positive forces of flow and the negative forces of calamity. It also represents the two paths of life between carbon and silicon organisms. Toru and the rock humans tried to defy the natural order and rise above humans. So in response, the universe played out the specific events that led to Josuke's creation. As a literal personification as one of these blessings from the earth, Josuke was the avatar for the forces of good in the system of flow, represented by the saint's corpse and the perfection of the golden ratio. This is what led to Josuke overcoming the negative forces of calamity and restoring balance. After the failure of the rock humans to establish dominance in JoJolion, it is unknown what may still be in store for them. We saw various ideas from Part 7 carry over into Part 8, and I am confident that the same will be true for Part 9, which Araki has said that he's planned since Steel Ball Run's publication. I do think it's possible that we'll see other rock humans, or possibly learn more about them in the future, as well as their connections to the blessings from the earth or the Rokakaka. That's all to be seen, however, in the next part, JoJo Lands. If you want to be updated on new videos or leave suggestions, join the Haman Beat Discord using the link in the description. To receive rewards like Discord perks and some uncut videos, you can support the channel on Patreon. And finally, for future videos, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. This is the part of the video where I thank my $5 and up patrons. Thank you to Tony, the Owl God, Alex Ramirez, Raziana, Doorbell, Cloudy, Monkman, Ashton Joseph Miller, Crayon, Jesper Jansen, Rigo Vids, Zucato, Shane Giger, Sentai, Pumpkin Doge, Marrow, Bailey Smile, Ali, Almighty Quarth, Oof, PBASVG, Cowrie, and JoJo Agogo.